Hello, good morning. This is Hamid Khan here from Food Mahir and Gardening Ideas, and today I'm gonna show you some of the pruning tips and watering tips for my Chamaedorea elegans or a parlor palm. So this parlor palm is here for almost a couple of years now. I have done one video a year ago, and it has, you can see I have cut back some old leaves that were turning brown and yellow. So the pruning is important to bring it back to the shape. It's getting very congested as well, as you can see, and it's getting very dry as well. So if you can come closer, I'll show you the soil is pretty dry. This simple test is a finger test, and you can see it's completely dry. So I need to replenish this topsoil a bit with some good quality organic fertilizer, blood-borne fertilizer, and water it. It's better to be dry than being wet all the time. It can still survive the dry cycles but not the wet cycles. So the best way of watering it is to have that completely dry and then wet cycles. So we call it dry and soak method. So don't water it before at least a couple of weeks for example in spring, and in summer maybe once a week. So let's prune some of these. So you can see these leaves are not in good shape, so I'll try to cut back as far as I can. Now this one, as you can see as well, it's quite damaged. It's got brown. Probably I need to change the location of this as well. It is getting a bit of a heat, so I'll just cut this as well. It's a very slow growing plant, so I need to be careful before cutting a lot of shoots. But you can see here this one has turned pretty bad. So this one also probably best just to cut back. This will also bring it back to its original shape. A pretty bad shape of leaves. Instead of cutting the full branch, just cut these brown leaves and the tips as well. Okay, this one has really turned very bad, so I'll just cut this as well. So unlike most of the plants, parlor palm can't be propagated through leaves or branches, so it needs to be, normally these are the seeds, as you can see, through which parlor palms can be propagated. But the best is to just buy a new one, you know, much easier, and they're not very expensive, but they give you an excellent touch to your indoors and outdoors. Very famous for indoor, and for outdoor in shaded areas, patios is really good. So I'll just get rid of these leaves as well. You can see. In fact, I should get rid of this. So you might have noticed the leaves are also, there's a lot of dirt and there's a lot of deposits on the top of the leaves. So I need to give it a shower as well, so that it can give me a good fresh look. I'll just get rid of this as well. This one also not looking very good, so I need to get rid of this. You can see the seeds are turning yellow now. rid of the dry parts. So these, I can just trim these round tips. Parlour palm is one of the most famous indoor plants. I'm keeping it in my patio. Try to avoid direct sun. It needs good light, but direct sun could burn the leaves. Overwatering could burn the leaves. Avoid overwatering. This one is also not looking so healthy, so I'll just get rid of this as well. Just get rid of this as well. Just make sure that each piece has at least few branches to grow. So we don't want to get rid of all these leaves as well. Coming up, you can see how lush green are these leaves. So I've trimmed it a lot. You can see here quite a lot of unwanted leaves and branches. It's getting into its shape a bit now, and it's much better, so it will give some room for the new branches to develop. And also, as I've shown you, the soil is completely dry. I think it's a good time to give it a good wash as well, because I want to give it a wash with warm water, and I'll give it a fertilizer as blood-borne. Some blood-borne organic fertilizer. It has some potash as well. Just keep around 5 centimeters away from the stems. So now I'm gonna water it, but before watering I'll give it a bath so I can wash these leaves. Try to avoid cold water, as the leaves could come under shock. So now I'm going to water it. One time, if we are watering it after a couple of weeks or 3 weeks, it's better to completely soak it with water. So soak and dry method is the best method for the palm. It hates to be permanently soaked in water, and that is now perfect. The leaves are dried again. I have given it a fertilizer. It's spring here in Sydney in Australia at this time, and it is now looking so great. And that's all from today. Keep watching my channel, Food Mahar and Gardening Ideas. Until then, ciao.